Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? I sure hope y'all's morning is blessed. This way, trying to weave around these sticker burrs so she don't step on them. Because then she'll be holding her foot up waiting for me to pick the sticker burr out. Y'all doing good today? So what's going on in the Emmanuel case today, I wonder? We're going to see something different. We're going to see them recover little Emmanuel. They said that they have a pretty good idea of where he is, right? That's what they said. So, like I said all along, people jumping the gun. But that's okay because they want to know. I get it. They want to know if. But, you know, when you arrest someone like that, I think we all understand that they weren't going to get out. I mean, well, how is it? Well, you know what? She might have. That might have been well, no, because her story, she's sticking to it. She's sticking to that big old fat lie that's proven on camera. What a dummy. But that's all right. She'll get hers. I think I don't know if she'll end up with life, but I do believe she'll probably get at least 25 years. I think she played more of a role than we know. And I think once they start pointing a finger at each other pretty quickly, because as soon as she gets a lawyer, y'all know exactly what's going to happen, right? Then they won't never have the same lawyer. She might already have a lawyer. She might have a court-appointed lawyer. She might have got her own lawyer. I don't know what kind of money they have. She was pawning things, so I don't think they have too much money. I don't think she can afford a lawyer unless her mama did it for her. But, you know what I mean? I don't think she could, honestly, she was at the pawn shop, like, selling coins, so. From what I understand, it's either workers' comp checks that they get or some kind of way of trying to get free money. That's what it seems like. But, like, they're trying to live off of the system, and I don't know, that's kind of weird to me. I don't know really nothing about workers' comp, so we can't say anything, but, I mean, I know that it's technically, if you get hurt there, you can draw workers' comp, but you're a man, dude. If you get a little back pain, then suck it up, right? Suck it up, buttercup. Anyway, I'm just curious what's going to come out today in that one, and then is anything else going to come out crazy today? I keep wondering, right? Like, we're learning so much, right? I'm so glad that there's so much coming out, and I'm still curious of what these remains that were found, right? I'm still curious about that. Because all those threes, and Katie kept using threes, and you know, exit 311, mile marker 313, like, that was the exact location. That's a lot of threes. But I don't know. I got some stuff that we're gonna play tonight. It's some of that first interview, a little bit of it, and then it's a little bit of that one, and a couple of other ones. No, you leave that bullfrog alone. And I kind of wanted to go over them tonight and talk about it. I think this puzzle is coming together. And you know, I'm wondering now, after all this stuff that's going on the last few days in Sebastian Rogers' case, y'all think that maybe they're getting a little nervous, right? That's what I'm hearing. That's what I heard from someone. That they acting really weird, really strange. And hey, that's someone that right down the road from them said they're acting weird and strange. I don't know. I'm wondering. I think that they've been acting weird since April 2nd, to be honest with you. Don't y'all feel that way? I think that whatever happened, I think, like, made them wake up a little bit and realize that just because their story has never played out, right? And like, that doesn't mean that it's not gonna eventually crumble, right? Like, I think they thought they got away with this for so long. This is just my opinion, but that's what I think, and that's what I'm hearing is, you know, it's like the table's turning, right? And I don't know. You got Seth out there screaming and begging and telling them to do their job, and you don't have the mom out there doing that. You don't have Chris out there doing that. I think they're terrified of law enforcement right now. I mean, they're not talking to them. They're not working with them at all. They've tried to take the stuff that that they debunked and then turn it into something that it's not. And that's what I didn't understand is, like, if you're supposedly working with law enforcement and working with the sheriff's office, like, how come, like, you're putting out stuff that they said is not, it has no relevance to the case at all? It's been cleared and debunked, and that's it. Like, how are you doing that if you're working with law enforcement? You know, think about that. That really made me think, like, holy moly, like, they really have no connections. I think once they lawyered up, that was it. And I think that threw the biggest red flag of all, probably, to law enforcement. That, you know, he was probably saying, hey, we all have our hunches, we all have our gut feelings, we have this evidence that's kind of pointing this way, do we? And then, of course, they lawyer up, and then the big sirens start going off, I'm sure, in Eric Craddock's brain. I bet they was just like, wah, 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 wah. He's probably, holy shit, did they just do that, really? No, ma'am. What is it? What is it? That's a dragonfly, goofball. It's a dragonfly, silly. There's a big dragonfly, like a big old blue one. You'll probably see him in a minute flying by the camera, but, you know, like, I don't know. I don't think, like I said, I don't really know if that, I think that could be Ronald Dumas Jr., actually. That would be, you know, but it's so hard to understand because you had two different people say two different things about these remains that were found there off of I-40. Right down by Hendersonville and all that area. Not far. Not too far anyway. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of the spokespersons called it a body, and one called it human remains. So that's two totally different, right? And that's why I was like, why would they both word just totally different? But I mean, that's what they did. That's why I was kind of confused. Was it, because if they say body, then you know it's pretty fresh, right? Like that one that was found in that by the McDonald's, I think. What did that turn out to be? Some, I don't know, some other. It wasn't. No, it was like new. It was fresh. It was like somebody recent within a few weeks, from what I understood. But I didn't think that one. That was too much in a public area, like right behind a McDonald's. Like, I don't see. If somebody was to have done that, you know, to Sebastian, they wouldn't have put him there, right? That's too many people around. But now out there off 313 exit, a mile marker, and then 311 exit, that's an area that, like, is not really used, really. There's nobody really goes to that area. I mean, you know, you're going down the highway, you're leaving. You're not gonna stop and go under a bridge and hang out, right? I don't know if you can get up underneath it with a vehicle. Yeah, I think you can. I'm trying to remember, because see, that was what we searched. Remember, was all those bridges. That's what I wanted to search, and that's the area that we searched, right? And you know, I mean, anyway, I just feel like and stop, Rube. I feel like it was kind of an area that, I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see what pans out there. Like, you know, remember how Ronald Dumas Jr., they took his car, and it was like 100 miles from the area, and so I was always confused because they went to Jackson, you know, or they went through Memphis, and then they were looking in Memphis, between Memphis and the Mississippi border. So it was like, you know, that could be, mosquito, that could be like an area that might have, you know, been, you know, I don't know. I was just thinking about who, and trying to look up any people that were missing, or any recent people missing in that area, and you couldn't really find anything other than, I mean, Sebastian Rogers and Ronald Dumas Jr. or the other one, but I think, no, that guy was found. Never mind. He was found on that road. That's right. And so I do remember that one guy being found. That's right. That he was like 32 or something like that. Remember? I can't remember his name. He was found by that gated area on that little road. and everybody was freaking out. And of course, he had been missing for a while. They said it was suspicious because he had gone to meet a buddy or something at that area, and then he vanished. So I don't know. It was something strange like that, and it never really made sense to me. But none of these things really make sense to me. I don't understand how people can do this. I don't understand how people can do this to their children. Like, I just don't get it. And I mean, Sebastian Rogers has been missing 1.5 years, right? I've been so off on my dates, but I always say around 1.5 years, or I mean, it's a long time. I mean, and I think it's about time. Like, it's about time to get answers. It's like now or never, really, right? Because if it's not now, like with everything that they got and they say they got, right? They said they got all this evidence, right? They told Seth they had a treasure chest of evidence. So, I mean, we know they got something, right? I think they got a whole lot more than what we think, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but they've been so tight-lipped, I think, for a reason. And I think what I gathered from people there, because I asked that question, because that was an important question, I felt like. And you know, it's because everybody knows, like, the Bauer stocks, right? And so they're worried about, they got to keep everything, like, completely under the radar. And because you think about it, it's, I don't know. But the thing to me that really bugged me, too, about that is that Katie says that she took a lot of treasure tests and they told her that day she passed, right? I mean, I didn't really know that it was like the same day that they don't tell you nothing in the same day. And that's what really kind of, I don't know, it's just had my brain thinking, because, you know, like I said, I don't think Chris Crawford ever took one. You're not going to convince me of it unless I see proof of it. I will never believe that, because he cold, like, ruined himself with Nancy Grace. Like, he bald-faced lied to her, and you don't lie to the queen, right? Oh no. She will never forget that. Yeah. And he's terrified of her anyway. She'd have mopped the floor with him. And then he want to go on Dr. Phil. How do you think that would have went, guys? I think he'd have been, you know what I think? I think he'd have been just like Candace up there. Who's that? Uh-oh, it went too fast. One of y'all just messaged me. But, you know, the whole thing, though, if you really break it down, right? Like, okay, that was February 26th, 2024. All right, so there's still 6 more months before 2 years. All right, and it was, the 25th February, around 6:30 p.m. I always called it 6:25 because that's when they were kind of in the car, was at like 6:25 p.m. And then to think about, like, after that, like, nothing that we know of, nothing, except for the Tinkerbell light video. Some think that possibly could be. I don't think that was, I think that was a stage. I think that was like, they did that to make it look like this child walked out and ran away with someone. They knew where all those cameras were. Don't tell me they didn't. And y'all think that those lights, you think that a keychain flashlight's that bright? I can tell you right now it's not. We tested it. And we tested with like 10 different brands of them. And I still got them in a box somewhere. And we couldn't get not one of them to show up like that. Nothing from that far away. Nothing. But they just don't have the power. The light power, you know. I mean, the bulb's nothing, right? So when we realized that didn't work, then it was like, okay, headlamps, which I'd always said it was headlamps. And it could not be, I don't know, but I don't understand. The only reason I think that, it's something that you could turn down the brightness. Okay, it's something you could dim down with like the push of a button, because coming back, it was almost like, it was on like the lowest setting possible. And to me, that's what always made me think somebody forgot to turn the light off, right? Which I've always said it's Katie. In my opinion, I think it is Katie. And I'm actually starting to think now that it's probably Katie and Melissa, if I would have to guess, from some stuff that I've learned lately over the last 5 days. I'm wondering, because I always wondered, okay, why would you meet Melissa that day? Like, did that help or did that hurt, or, you know what I'm saying? And then I thought, okay, who would be able to help her at 2:57 in the morning, right? I mean, I don't see Kathy getting out there at that late, right? I think that she would have to have her sleep. And I don't think Terry would get out there that late either. That's why I started trying to figure it out. Like, who would have done a dummy run? Like, who would have done that? Like, somebody had to do the dummy run, in my opinion, because I clearly think if there would have been 3 people in that footage, I think that it would have been different. Now, I don't know that for sure, but I mean, some people, I'm not going to say that she couldn't have carried that child. I'm not saying that. She could have. But they accounted for every car, and that's where I get confused is, did they account for every car that they knew was in the area? I mean, we know they did a dump. They know they got every cell phone, every Wi-Fi, everything that's in that area. So, I mean, that's the thing, is they should have somebody's phone or Apple Watch. Well, if you don't have a phone or Apple Watch picked up in that area that night, when you do your dump, then that means that they left everything at home, right? Or they had them turned off like Koberger did. So that's why I was trying to figure out, okay, how do you view this video, right? Like, honestly, like, when y'all see that video, what do you think? That's what I want y'all to answer me today. Your honest opinion. I don't care what you think. It's your opinion. You know that. I love y'all's opinion. So give me your straight out opinion of what you think that is. Do you think it's flashlights, cell phone lights, headlamps? I mean, just, I don't know, keychain flashlights? I don't know. I mean, and what do y'all think it is? And what would make the person come back? So, because if that was Sebastian, he came back to that house. And that's one of the things I asked in the very beginning when that video first came out. Because I've had the same feeling all along, is that this child didn't make it home. Because there was never any dog scent. His scent would have been on that trash can. A dog would have went to that trash can. Believe me, I work with dogs. I know how it would have worked. As soon as they came outside and started sniffing around, they'd have picked up that scent pretty quickly, because that trash can was right there. And that at least one of the dogs would have went to that trash can. And they never happened. And that's when I realized, okay, Sebastian was never there. Because there was no scent of the child on the front porch, right? From what I understand, there was no scent at all, right? That's what they're saying. That's why they're saying they don't know how this kid got out of the home. Like, did Santa Claus come down and take him out the chimney? Or, like, right? Like, I don't know. Did Katie throw him up in the sky? Did they land a plane on the roof? Or what? How did they get the child out? If they're saying, law enforcement is clearly telling us in the beginning, in their roundabout way, or however they said it, I don't remember how they said it, but it was something about they don't know how he got out of the house, or they don't believe that he got out of the house on his own, or something like that. That's how they said it. So that means that there had to be a vehicle, right? We've always said it had to be a car. Well, the car didn't move until 6 o'clock in the morning. So if the car didn't move till 6 o'clock in the morning, that one or two ways. Either that morning she got rid of that child, in my opinion, or that after the roadhouse. That would be the only way. There would be no other way to do it. Because I clearly don't think that Tinkerbell flashlight video, or the flashlight video, whatever you want to call it, I don't think that's 3 people. The more I've studied it, the more I've learned from that other guy that did that stuff for me, is what I'm hearing is it's just 2 people. And both of them are like 5'9" and under. And the lights change drastically, like 400 luminous difference between, and I don't know if I should share that yet, but I'm going to do it. 400 luminous difference between when the lights go out there versus the light coming back. So that's telling me right there that somehow it was turned down, but not turned all the way off. And like I showed you the other night, 5 settings. When I turn it on, right, and it's up on my head like it's supposed to be, instead of, I always point it down so I can see the camera, but if I put it up like it's supposed to be on my head, remember, we couldn't see it. on that dim setting. You could see it on the bright setting because it's freaking bright, but you couldn't see it on the lowest setting. So that's kind of my point is that it seems like it would have had to have been done that way. But you know what I mean? I don't really know. I'm probably wrong, but it is what it is. I mean, the video is, to me, a crucial piece of this case. And I think Nick LeBear said that this is evidence in the case. So evidently it's in the evidence folder. That's telling me right there that law enforcement told him, Eric Craddock told him, that it's in the evidence folder. Okay, so we know that that's part of this case, no matter what. So we're never going to see that thing until this case is solved, like the full thing. Because what I would like to see is like midnight, right? I'm really curious about midnight to about 6:30 a.m. That's when I'd really like to see all those cameras in that area. I would like to see Katie Prophet leaving. Because remember, me and the mob crew both were like, you don't have your windows down. Seth just talked about how he had his windows down, screaming and yelling out the truck. Okay, and then she has all her windows up. How are you looking for your kid with your windows up, lady? Whole thing is they had it all planned out, in my opinion. She knew she was going to jump in that car and act like she's going to school, this, that, and the other. I still think she went west. You know why I think she went west? Because there's no cameras. Boom. How about that, Dorothy? Remember? He just let us know that. There's no cameras west going to Gallatin. Oh, so if Katie went to Gallatin that morning, oh, there's not on camera, guys, because the camera's broken. And he knew the camera was broken, remember? He said he knew the camera was broken. How long had he known the camera was broken? That's the new question I got. What do y'all think of this? And I know it took me a while to get it out because I didn't know if I was going to share it yet. I was going to wait till the fire chat, but I figured, you know what? It's a beautiful morning. Let's go ahead and get it out there. What do y'all think of them apples? Remember, the cameras going west don't pick up nothing. Only the other direction. So, Katie could have slipped on down to Gallatin, hauled butt back and went by the school and looked like, oh, I was in the neighborhood riding around for a little bit, and then I came out of the neighborhood and went to the school, and we know she went straight out. But you know what's funny about that? Is there's a camera a little ways down there, a ring camera, that kind of catches that road right there. And that guy, yeah, he turned it over. We've never heard about that footage. Why? But thank you, Chris, for letting us know that camera headed towards your mama's house, where I believe Katie went that morning, was never picked up on camera because it didn't work. You admitted it, just like you admitted the front door, remember? Oh, it's the front door. I don't know why you went out that front door. I don't know why. I just don't know why. Give me some barbecue. Because I don't know why. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at. Give me some ice cream. You know what I'm saying? I need some cookies, too. That's kind of how I feel about that. Because front door, front door, front door, front door, front door. Then a couple months later, Chris says, oh, no. You can't come to my front door. You're going to get caught. Don't you try to come to my front door, because that camera across the street, that ring camera across the street, it's going to pick you up. Even if it's a shadowy figure, it's going to pick you up. So how about them apples? So we know it's not the front door. So did this child make it home? How many of y'all think he did make it home? How many of y'all think he didn't? And type it out. I don't want to do the numbers thing because I like reading y'all's messages anyway. So tell me what you think about that, and how you feel about that, and how you feel about what I just said. Because Chris just let us know in the leaked phone call that if you went towards west, you weren't picked up on camera. So Katie could have went west all she wanted and never been caught on camera. Wow. I say boom to that. I will say boom to that. So, with that said, guys, justice for Sebastian Rogers, it's coming. We just got to keep fighting, but it's coming. I believe it'll be here sooner than later. And remember, y'all's comments, y'all's alone, not reflect the channel. Why? Because we do our research together, because we are a big heart little family. And trigger warnings times 100 million, plus an extra 100 million. because Sebastian Rogers is extra special. So we'll give a 200 million trigger warning for him today. And go ahead and keep the green hearts flowing. And also, we need to get back on that green heart thing. I would rather y'all put a green heart in there than a thumbs up. That's what I'd rather. Because that's showing support. Because green is a power to army that's fighting for this child. And I think the army's starting to grow a little bit. I'm seeing a few more people. Y'all see that? Popping out, talking about Sebastian Rogers. But they're not talking the way we're talking about it. Because we digging so hard that we're trying to make something out of this. Just wait till I give you the other stuff. I'm just giving you a little tip of the iceberg. And I still think what I just gave us is huge. I think if we put our heads together, I want to know how many of y'all feel what I just said. She could have went west that morning and never been caught on camera. He told us that. That's the camera that didn't work. Remember, they don't have any vehicles going that way. They only have them going the other way. So how in God's name did you account for every vehicle? You couldn't have, right? What if there was vehicles with no cell phones? No newer vehicles? What if it was an older vehicle, like it was bought, you know, as like a vehicle that you, if I register it later, it's cool. I'll just keep it unregistered for now or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Think about that. I'm serious. Think about it. That's another piece of the puzzle. The 313. I don't think that's gonna be Sebastian. I honestly really don't. I mean, I would be shocked if it was. Put it that way. I'm trying to get an answer right now. I'm begging, I'm waiting. Somebody give me an answer. Like I've reached out to like 4 different people within that number to call, and I'm hounding them, but they ain't getting me an answer yet. But what if I find out? I'm sure they'll post something hopefully today, tomorrow, or, well, I don't know. It might take them a lot longer than that, especially if it was skeletonized now, you know. We just have to see. You know, they're saying 2 different things, so we got to kind of go with it. I think they meant skeletal remains, but I think the other one just said a body. Because like a body would mean, like, to me, would be like somebody that was just put there like a day or 2 ago or a week, you know. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But y'all think about that. Let me know what y'all think about her being able to go that morning and go the other way and not get caught. So when she came back the other way, to look like she just came from her neighborhood and rode by the school. She was gone, remember, 30 minutes, guys. They didn't, well, no, because they called law enforcement, what, like 6:33, right? So 30 minutes. Look at all those 3s. 30 minutes she had. That's Gallatin and back. And still have about 5 minutes to spare, enough to make a loop quick by the school. But oh no, you told me I got to go back to the house, so I can't finish my loop around the school. Why? You left at 6:10, woman. And you got back at what, like 6:40 something or something? That's why I want to see the camera footage to know exactly how long she was gone. I've heard it was 30 minutes. I've heard it was 10 minutes. I've heard it was 20 minutes. But how long do we really know? Because I don't believe a word she says. I don't believe one word that woman says. And I don't believe nothing Christopher Prophet says. And I don't believe nothing I almost said something bad, his mama says either. Because he's still hanging on to her by the clips on her strap on her back. That boy won't let go. Anyway, remember, everyone's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. No one has been arrested yet. No one's been charged yet. But we just have to keep pushing so we make sure that happens. But like I said, in the long run, trigger warnings always. This justice for this baby. Sebastian Rogers, he's got to be found. I mean, we're not going to give up. We're going back in 3 days. We're not going to tell every time we go, because I know some people are watching. Y'all know what I mean? So I kind of try to keep it private. But believe me, we're going to dump a lot of footage on it. We're just waiting to get this last couple of areas we completed, so that way people won't know what area we're in, and then we'll drop the videos. Y'all know what I'm saying. I don't want notes in my backpack. I don't want people trying to do something to my dog or scream and try to call my dog when I don't even know how. I don't know that person at all. She don't know that person. And of course, she just kind of looks and barks like, I ain't going to answer you when you call my name. So it's pretty good. But no, I really thought that was huge, and I wanted to bring it up. It might be nothing. But to me, like, everything they say has a meaning. You just have to follow it, right? And that's what I'm trying to do. But I really want to know, how many of y'all honestly think this kid made it home? And if you don't think he made it home, let me know why. And if you think he made it home, let me know why you think he made it home. Because we need to put a head, because remember, his own father even said, I mean, if you ask Seth right now, he's going to probably say that wasn't Sebastian taking out the trash. He's going to say he couldn't tell because it was so grainy. But I think, honestly, if you ask him straight out, he would tell you that he don't believe he believes it was Katie and not Sebastian. I'm pretty sure that's what he would say at this point. I don't know for sure, but I would almost put a couple bucks on it. Anyway, like I said, take it as a grain of salt. These are just my opinions, my free speech. I'm entitled to it. And I'm going to keep fighting for this young man. I know I know I got more Sebastian Rogers videos lately than any, but I'm trying to get this movement going. Y'all know what I'm doing. And we over here sitting in we're so small, we're like a grain of sand on the world map. And we got to try to reach as many of these big ones as possible. But I've been trying to reach out. Like, I've really been trying to reach out to like Ashley Banfield and them and ask them, please do another video because they can dig so good. I want them to do another one. I asked Nancy Grace, Vinny. I know Vinny will, but because Vinny has covered Sebastian Rogers quite a bit. I've been trying to ask these big ones to please, right? And then, you know, I wish Dr. Phil would call him up and say, come on my show so we can watch Chris Prophet look like Candace Wells, because that's exactly what happened. That chin would go up, that neck would clench up, and he... Yeah, that's what I think would happen. As soon as Dr. Phil asked him something he didn't want, he would just say, I can't talk about that. Anyway, guys, we love y'all. You have a blessed morning. We'll talk soon. And justice for Sebastian Rogers. We got to keep up the fight for this child. Something is not right. The inconsistency. They're all the same as all these cases we've been covering right now. Emmanuel, Jaden, Jack, and they're all suspicious. They're all inconsistent stories. They all got child protective services involved. And they're all falling that 5% that ain't solved yet. So for some reason, well, minus Jaden. Jaden's solved, and Emmanuel's, I believe, will. Law enforcement told us yesterday that he's pretty much confessed and let them know where. But I think the cell phone, from what I was told, the cell phone, like I said on this morning's video, the cell phone in the truck led them there. So don't think that it was just him. I think they needed to corroborate that, and they probably told him, well, hey, we got your truck and your cell phone in this area for 17 to 27 minutes. I can't remember exactly what he was told, but still got to take that as a grain of salt too. Like I said, everything here is alleged. Just put it that way until we get answers. And we're going to get some answers, I hope, soon. And y'all know what I'm saying. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think, guys. We love y'all. We'll talk soon. But let me know really, like, if you think, I really am curious of what y'all think. Like, do you honestly think that this child made it home from the roadhouse? And if you do think he made it home, why did he, how and why did he make it home? What led you believe that he made it home? Yeah, like, what leads you to believe that? You know, like your thought, like your gut feeling or your hunch or whatever it may be. Just let me know. Is it a hunch? Is it a gut feeling? Do you just think that there's evidence to show that he made it home? Do you think there's no evidence to show that he made it home? I'm curious to see the difference in this here in the channel, because I haven't really done these before, but I'm gonna start doing it because I really want to know, like, what y'all think about it, right? Like, and then we're gonna do one on Summer and try to figure out what y'all think about that one. And I want to get all y'all's opinions because it matters to me, and you know, I want to see who feels what, right? And my opinion doesn't reflect y'all's opinion, because y'all's opinions are y'all's opinions, and I respect every one of y'all's opinions. So I really want to know just what y'all think. So y'all can do that for me. I'd appreciate it. All right, well, me and Ruby love y'all, guys. Y'all have a blessed morning. Hugs to all y'all. Thanks for all the wonderful, kind-hearted words y'all always give here. It's so amazing. I'm so honored to have all y'all. I'm blessed to have all y'all. So don't go anywhere. And the ones that keep sneaking in and don't stay, I'm going to get you. No, I'm playing. Just be careful. All right, guys, we'll talk soon. All right, guys, bye.